Now we are starting with methods of preparation of alcohol, phenols and ethers. First of all, we will discuss preparation of alcohols. Different methods. First of all, we will see from which different compounds we are able to get alcohols. So, alcohols. We can get alcohols from alkyl halides, which you have already seen, isn't it? We can get alcohols from alkyl halides, RX. Okay, alkaline hydrolysis. How we are able to get them? By alkaline hydrolysis. Second method is from alkenes. We are able to get alcohols from alkenes also. From alkenes, we can get alcohols by two different methods. First is acid catalyzed hydration. And second one, hydroboration oxidation. This is from alkenes. We are able to get alcohols from carbonyl compounds. Carbonyl compounds. So under carbonyl compounds, which compounds will come? Carbonyl group is C double bond O group, isn't it? So under that we can have aldehydes having general formula R C double bond O H. We can have ketones having general formula R C double bond O R, and we can have carboxylic acids having general formula R C double bond O OH. So these are carbonyl compounds, and we are able to get alcohols from them by reduction. What is the process? Reduction. We are able to get alcohols again from aldehydes and ketones. By action of Grignard reagent on them. By action of Grignard reagent, that is RMgX on them. Okay, so these are the general methods of preparation. What is the first one? We are able to get alcohols from alkyl halides, RX. Okay, by hydrolysis. We are able to get alcohols from alkenes by acid catalyzed hydration or hydroboration oxidation. Two methods. This method already we have done in 11th standard. This method also we have done in 11th standard as well as 12th standard in the previous chapter. From carbonyl compounds, that is aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids, we are able to get alcohols by reduction, addition of hydrogen, isn't it? And we are also able to get aldehydes and ketones from, we are able to get alcohols from aldehydes and ketones by treating them with Grignard reagent, addition of Grignard reagent. So one by one we will discuss all the four methods. First of all from alkyl halides, and then we will proceed for alkenes. So see just which are the methods again. From four different organic compounds we are able to get alcohols. Okay, alkyl halides, alkenes, carbonyl compounds and again carbonyl compounds. So we will start with the first method from alkyl halides. What is the first method? From alkyl halides. Alkyl halides, no, previous chapter, general formula is RX, alkyl halides. Alkyl halides, we are seeing nucleophilic substitution reactions of alkyl halides in that very first reaction. When alkyl halides are treated with alkali, which is aqueous one. Aqueous word is important, not alcoholic. Okay, when alkyl halides, when they are treated with aqueous alkali like NaOH or KOH, what is going to happen? Nucleophilic substitution reaction. So this X will be substituted by nucleophile OH, and we will get ROH, and what will be the byproduct? Of course, NaX, isn't it? The same reaction can be carried out by using moist Ag2O. What we are able to use? moist Ag2O, that means Ag2O in presence of water. So this combination will give you AgOH. Ag2O plus H2O, we will get AgOH. So again, what is going to happen? This X will be substituted by OH and we will get ROH plus AgX. For example, if Rx is CH3Br or CH3I plus NaOH or KOH, what we will get? CH3OH. This I, that is X, and Na, they will form NaI. If you have C2H5Br plus NaOH, what you will get? C2H5OH. C2H5OH plus NaBr. And similar reactions you can write for AgOH also, isn't it? So if you start with methyl iodide, you will get methyl alcohol. If you start with ethyl bromide, you will get ethyl alcohol. Okay. So this is the first method. When alkyl halides are treated with aqueous alkali, they undergo hydrolysis and we will get alcohols. Okay. Now we will be going for second method of preparation. That is from alkenes. What is the second method? It is from alkenes. In that we are going to see two methods. From alkenes, doubly bonded compounds. So which are the two methods? First method is by acid catalyzed hydration. Acid catalyzed hydration. Acid catalyzed hydration. Okay, hydration is addition of water, isn't it? So if you will add water to doubly bonded compound, what you will get? Water is H and OH. So to one carbon atom H will be added, to another carbon atom OH will be added, and double bond is converted into single bond. So double bond is going to get converted into single bond. Hydrogen will be added to one carbon atom, OH will be added to another carbon atom. Okay, so what we are getting? Alcohol we are getting, isn't it? This reaction is carried out in presence of acid as a catalyst. Acid catalyzed, isn't it? So just see, again we will take alkene as ethene, simple alkene. And if it is acid catalyzed, if you take H2SO4, okay, how it is treated? HOSO3H, that is H2SO4. Okay, so what is going to happen? H will be added to one carbon atom and this negative part will be added to another carbon atom. So this H will be added to this carbon atom. CH2 will be converted into CH3. So what we will get? CH3 single bond CH2 OSO3H. So starting from ethene, we will get ethyl. This is the name of this compound, ethyl, isn't it? And hydrogen sulfate. Which group we are adding? Hydrogen sulfate. C H hydrogen sulfate SO4. Okay. Ethyl hydrogen sulfate is the intermediate product. Now this ethyl hydrogen sulfate, it will undergo hydrolysis. Okay. And what we will get? CH3 CH2 and this will be converted into OH. And what will be the byproduct? This water is HNOH. Water is HNOH. So this OH is going to occupy this particular position and we will have H and this particular group. What it is? H2SO4. If you see carefully, is H2SO4. So we will be getting our H2SO4 acid back in this reaction. Okay. See, one more example we will take. Instead of ethene, if we will write the reaction for propene, higher alkene, CH3 CH double bond CH2 plus water. Sorry, in the presence of H2SO4, so HOSO3H. So what we will get? CH3 as it is. Double bond is converted into single bond. Okay. Now, if you remember, we have your unsymmetrical alkene, propene, and unsymmetrical reagent. So the reaction will proceed according to Markovnikov's rule. The negative part of the reagent will be added to that carbon atom out of two which contain less number of hydrogen atoms. So this is negative part of the reagent, OSO3H, isn't it? So that will be added to which carbon atom out of these two which has less number of hydrogen atoms. So this carbon atom is having only one hydrogen atom attached to it, and this is having two hydrogen atoms. So negative part we are going to add to this carbon atom, and hydrogen will be added to another carbon atom. Okay. So what will be the name of this compound? This is isopropyl group, isn't it? So isopropyl hydrogen sulfate. Isopropyl hydrogen sulfate, and isopropyl hydrogen sulfate undergoes hydrolysis to form our what is the name of the alcohol? Isopropyl alcohol, isn't it? Isopropyl alcohol, or you can say, what is the IUPAC name? Propane to all, isn't it? Propane to all. See again, from alkenes we are able to get alcohols by acid catalyzed hydration, addition of water. It is acid catalyzed. Okay. So there are two steps. In the first step, we are adding H2SO4 and we are getting alkene hydrogen sulfate. That alkene hydrogen sulfate undergoes hydrolysis and we are able to get alcohol. So starting from ethene, we are getting ethyl alcohol. Starting from propene, we are getting isopropyl alcohol, isn't it? See the reactions carefully. In this unsymmetrical alkene and we have, and therefore reaction proceeds according to Markovnikov's rule. What is Markovnikov's rule? The negative part of the reagent is added to that carbon atom out of two which contains less number of hydrogen atoms. So this part will be added to this carbon atom, isn't it? Now from alkenes again we are going to see one more method as we have discussed. Hydroboration oxidation. What is the next method? B from alkenes again by hydroboration oxidation. Actually this reaction also we have seen in 11th standard in alkenes. Okay, hydroboration oxidation. So first step is hydroboration, then oxidation. See again we will take alkene, simple alkene, CH2 double bond, CH2. We are going to add diborane. In the first step we are going to add diborane and then oxidation will be carried out. So diborane is what? BH3 diborane. So borane is BH3, diborane BH3 twice, or you can say B2H6. What it is? B2H6. So we are going to add across double bond CH2. Now see how the reaction is going to proceed. What you have to add? You have to add 2 boron atoms and 6 hydrogen atoms. What you have to add? 2 boron atoms and 6 hydrogen atoms. So you will take 6 molecules of this alkene. Okay. Now, when addition is going to take place, double bond is going to convert into single bond. Okay. And these 6 molecules we are going to write this way now. See, 2 into 3. Okay. Now 6 hydrogen atoms have to be added. So to any carbon atom, if you will add, if you will increase hydrogen atom, 6 hydrogen atoms we are totally adding, isn't it? And 2 boron atoms we have to add to another carbon atom, isn't it? See carefully. So what is the name of this? Trialkyl borane. This is alkyl group. Trialkyl borane. See carefully again. We have 6 molecules of alkene. Okay, and we are going to add 2 atoms of boron and 6 atoms of hydrogen between 6 diborane. So 6 molecules were split into 2 into 3, isn't it? It was initially CH2 single bond CH2. Now after addition, this single bond is going to form. So what we have added to this carbon atom, 1 hydrogen atom, and totally 6 hydrogen atoms actually. And to this carbon atom, we are adding 2 boron atoms, isn't it? 3 to the 6 hydrogen atoms and 2 boron atoms. Trialkyl borane is formed. Now see, CH3, CH2, thrice B. Trialkyl borane. Okay. It will undergo oxidation using peroxide. What is peroxide? If you take hydrogen peroxide as peroxide, all peroxides they contain OO linkage. All peroxides they contain OO linkage. So if you take hydrogen peroxide, it will be OH, H2O2. Hydrogen peroxide is H2O2. So actually it is HOOH. Okay. It will undergo oxidation using hydrogen peroxide, and what you will get? So these 3 molecules we have to take, and we will get 3CH3 CH2 and OH, 3OH. 3CH3 CH2 OH. See carefully, 3 molecules of CH3 CH2 OH, and what is left? BOH thrice. What is left? BOH thrice. See the reaction carefully. In presence of alkali, actually the oxidation is carried out. Now instead of ethene, if you will have propene, CH3 CH double bond CH2, a similar reaction I am going to write, B2H6. So 2 times CH3 CH2 CH2 thrice B, tritropyl borane, isn't it? And CH3 CH2 CH2 thrice B plus, what you have to do now? Alkaline oxidation. So OH in presence of alkali. 3 molecules of H2O2. So 3 times CH3 CH2 CH2 OH plus BOH thrice, or H3BO3, boric acid. See the reaction carefully. Now what is happening? You will see this particular compound, original one, and the final product, alcohol. Addition is taking place across these 2 carbon atoms, isn't it? Here, to this carbon atom, hydrogen is added, and to this carbon atom, OH is added, isn't it? So if you observe the reaction carefully, the reaction is proceeding according to anti-Markovnikov oxide. See, H here and OH here. Actually, what is Markovnikov's rule? Negative part of the reagent is added to that carbon atom which contains less number of hydrogen atoms. So actually OH minus, it should be added to this carbon atom, and we should have what? Isopropyl alcohol. But what is happening? We are getting N-propyl alcohol, isn't it? So reaction is proceeding according to anti-Markovnikov's rule in case of hydroboration of alkenes. So these two methods we will end here only. We'll stop here only. The remaining two methods we will discuss in the next video. Thank you.